Hello students and welcome. Myself Gauri Shahane, working as Assistant Professor in Zoology at MVP Samaj, Nasik. Today in this video I am going to discuss about the chemical bonds. Before that, see the syllabus of biochemistry from the TYBSc Zoology semester 3rd. As we know that there are total 6 theory papers in this semester, from which the biochemistry is third paper. In the syllabus, there are total 5 chapters, namely Basic Biochemistry, Carbohydrates, Protein, Enzymes and Lipids. I am just going to show slides for detailed syllabus. You can capture the screenshot or the syllabus will be easily available on the official website of Pune University. Okay, today we are going to discuss about the chemical bonds and its types from chapter 1st, Basic Biochemistry. Now see the chemical bonds. In nature, the variety of molecules are present. Similarly, variety of biomolecules are also present in the living cells. Before chemical bond, you have to understand difference between atom and molecule. For example, water molecule. The H2O is water molecule and this molecule is made up of 3 atoms which are 2 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Means when 2 or more than 2 atoms come together, they gives molecule. But the question is that how these atoms are held together, and the answer is this happens just because of chemical bond. So chemical bond, a force of attraction that holds together the constituent atoms in a molecule, means there is a force of attraction between atoms that holds 2 atoms together, and this force of attraction is called chemical bond. See the types of chemical bond. According to the nature of chemical bond, they are classified into 2 types: covalent bonds and non-covalent bonds. See the basic difference between the covalent and non-covalent bonds. Covalent bonds are strong bond while non-covalent bonds are weak bond. Covalent bonds are not easily hydrolyzed, that's why they are strong bond. Here non-covalent bonds are easily hydrolyzed. Covalent bonds are formed due to sharing of electrons between atoms. Non-covalent bonds are formed due to oppositely charged ions. Covalent bonds are independent of the nature of medium, means the strength of bond is same, either it is present in polar medium or non-polar medium. Here non-covalent bonds may dependent or independent of medium. Later on I will explain this point in detail. Covalent bonds are formed between carbon-carbon or carbon-oxygen or carbon-nitrogen. For example, peptide bonds, disulfide linkages. Here the examples of non-covalent bonds are ionic bond, hydrogen bond, hydrophobic interactions, electrostatic bond and molecular bond. Now see the first type of non-covalent bond, which is ionic bond. Okay, ionic bond. Ionic bond is also called as electrovalent bond. Remember, do not confuse between electrovalent and electrostatic bond. Okay, ionic bond. The concept of ionic bond is very simple. The name ionic itself suggests that the bond is formed between ions. So these bonds are formed due to oppositely charged ions, that is cation and anion. Cation which are positively charged and anion which are negatively charged. For example, sodium chloride, NaCl. For the better understanding of ionic bond, you have to know the general structure of atom and atomic number of that atom. So sodium have atomic number 11 and the atomic number of chlorine is 17. if you see the general structure of atom consists of three basic particles, which are protons, neutrons and electrons. See, this is the central part of nucleus in which positively charged protons are present and neutrons are also present in the nucleus. Neutrons are neutral, while these are the electron shells present around the nucleus contain the negatively charged electrons. So here these are the total 11 electrons in the sodium atom, 2 electrons in the first shell, then 8 electrons in the second shell, and only 1 electron is present in the outermost shell. I have already shown this electron with different color. While chlorine atoms have total 17 electrons and 7 electrons are present in the outermost shell. Sodium atom loses its electron and converts into sodium ion. Okay, atom converts into ion. Now the ion means what? The atom with electric charge means ion due to loss or gain of one or more electron. And here the sodium atom loses its one electron, so it will be converted into sodium ion, which is positively charged. Oppositely, the chlorine atoms have 7 electrons in its outermost shell, so chlorine receives one electron loosened by sodium atom and converts into chlorine ion. Because it accepts the electron, it gets negative charge. According to octet rule, atom requires 8 electrons in its valence shell for more stable compounds, and now here both the ions got 8 electrons in its outermost shell, and due to loss and gain of electron, they also got charges positive and negative respectively. Here, sodium atoms converts into sodium ion by losing one electron, and chlorine got negative charge due to getting one electron. And now finally we have two ions, Na plus and Cl minus, which are oppositely charged. Now see the definition of ionic bond again. These bonds are formed due to oppositely charged ions. And yes, at the end we have two oppositely charged ions. And here the force of attraction between these two ions and the bond is formed due to this force of attraction is called ionic bond or electrovalent bond. Now the ionic bond between NaCl is dependent of medium. That is, these are very strong in anhydrous condition, means salt in solid state shows strong bond, but in aqueous condition it dissociates, means if you mix salt into water, then sodium and chlorine dissociates, means dissolve. And in solid condition, these bonds are strong than covalent bonds. Okay. Now the second bond is hydrogen bond. Which is also a type of non-covalent bond. These bonds are formed due to sharing of hydrogen between nitrogen, oxygen or fluorine. Means the hydrogen is shared between nitrogen and oxygen, or oxygen and fluorine, or nitrogen and fluorine. If you see the strength of bond, means which is stronger. So this is the situation. The bond is formed between hydrogen and fluorine is strong as compared to remaining two. If you compare the strength of hydrogen bond with remaining non-covalent bonds, the hydrogen bond is stronger than van der Waals forces while the hydrogen bond is weaker than ionic bond. And obviously, all these bonds are weaker than covalent bonds. Okay, suppose A is any atom which is covalently bind with hydrogen atom. Okay, covalently bind with hydrogen atom, and B is another atom. So A and B should be electronegative. They should be fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen. So in such a conditions, hydrogen forms bond with B atom. So this is hydrogen bond. Hydrogen bonds are present in various molecules and biomolecules. For example, in DNA strand, the hydrogen bonding between purine and pyrimidine is the main force keeping the two strands of DNA together. Adenine pairs with thymine with two hydrogen bonds, while guanine is paired with cytosine with three hydrogen bonds. We know that the hydrogen bond is weaker bond, but still it keeps two strands of DNA together because in a single DNA molecule many hydrogen bonds are present. That's why it keeps two strands of DNA together. I hope you like this video. In the next video, I'll explain about remaining bonds. Thank you.